Hey everybody, Bill Flipper here, and we're going to do a quick video on products to sell during slow times, aka even a possible recession or when sales are slower. And I have a couple different ways to go. And currently, a lot of stores, so I'm going to go the first one, which is apparel, which may not be the most popular, but here's why I think they are opportunistic at this time because a ton of big box stores, think of Kohl's, think of um, basically any clothing place, Target. I wouldn't say Target because they don't have many name brand clothes, but even items that are maybe not so like you wouldn't think, like would people splurge on a $60 hoodie, Nike hoodie, if their budget is tight? Probably not, but here's why it's okay to sometimes take this risk. And at Christmas, they definitely would. We have Q4 literally just rolling right up on us. I mean, it's time to prep for that. But here's something many people, I follow a ton of financial stuff, and all these big box stores are loaded with inventory, way too much inventory. So Kohl's used to have a 50% off clearance sale, I think twice a year. So far this year, they probably had 5 times. The point is, they are still loaded to the gill with inventory, and the prices keep getting lower and lower. So if you had to buy that hoodie for 40 bucks or 30 bucks, and you're gonna make, $10 on it, it's not worth it. But when Kohl's clearances it down, these other stores, Dick's is another one that's just loaded with inventory, and they're just having crazy, crazy sales, like 85% off, 70% off. It is much more willing to take those prices. And plus, let's say they wouldn't spend 60 bucks on a hoodie. If you get that thing for $15, you can crash that price to 40 bucks and probably still be profitable, or at 45. So it gives you so much wiggle room, especially in R8. This is really popular with R8, but it has been online too because they are just so loaded to the gill with inventory. And you have to remember, they have to move that inventory, whether they sell it to distributors. They'd rather probably sell it in store. They probably get a little bit better of a price, and it's quicker cash flow. But you're seeing this if you go to your local Aldi's. It is loaded with Target clearance toys. So my assumption is pretty easily they sold them huge, huge amounts. I guess they bought a ton of Bed Bath and Beyond. So think about those stores that are going out of business, stores that are just again over inventoried, and you'll see this sometimes in stores. Sometimes, I was walking around Target. They had a ton of shit, a ton of items, a ton of items uh, on 70% off, 75% off. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, they were actually flips I was gonna do locally. They were $300 scooters, I think for like it's like $100 or $120. I was like, I did not get them, but they were motorized scooters. I'm thinking, man, I could pick these up. They're 300. Could probably flip them on Facebook Marketplace for like $50 profit. Like I said, I didn't go that route, but it is certainly that is how clearance they are down. Almost there was so much electronics at 50% off. And again, electronics generally are extremely high velocity. Like clothing, they have a high return rate, but if you're getting them 50% off, like I said, you are getting some of these things so cheap and they go so fast. Like a lot of you can imagine a small electronic, if you buy it for 50 and it sells for 100, you're going to probably clear that 25 bucks. I will take 50% ROI all day, even with a risk of higher returns. So the first one is for dealing with a slower time or recession is to find super super low prices. And I know that sounds obvious, but they are definitely out there. And again, this is for me like that 85. I might spend I don't know. Let's just call it like $1,000 at Kohl's all month long. But during that clearance sale, I'll spend $1,000 in a day. So that's the difference. It's when to know to push chips in when you get really, really good sales. Nike's another one where they do these 25% off sales. They used to be once a year, twice a year, and now they're every other month. And you can find super, super good deals there. And I have some videos. Another really quick tip is remember, use your card cash, use your Rakuten, use the discount codes. Use all those things. And I usually, the first thing I look at is already discounted items. So if I have a 20% off coupon, I look for something already 30% off, 20% off. and then the coupon will make it lower, and then card cash is going to make it another 3% lower, and you can really have some you can really juice up your margins. The second one I can think of is essentials, or if you think about small splurges, so maybe they're not going to splurge on a $60 hoodie, but to come back to that, maybe they will splurge on, they always make cookies with their kid, they always make muffins. That's a once a month thing. They make pancakes, so they'll pay for a pancake multi-pack, things like that. So they're still willing to splurge a little bit, but it may be on an experience or something smaller like making pancakes, or we saw back to school. I still think it was a little bit slower than last year, but maybe they're not going to buy their kid that people did really well with those Crayola things. So even look at that. They were school essentials. They were multi-packs of essentials you need for, I don't know about day-to-day life, but school. So people were and that's a good probably listings to reverse source. Like they were like Crayola multi-packs. I forget, I'm sure they were buying for a buck each, bundling them up at 5, 10, and then charging, 30 for the bundle or whatever. So they were extremely profitable. So think about that. Again, it's still an essential. Basically, I consider it almost an essential because you need it for school, you need it for projects, things like that. So food, grocery is great. People still are going to take you know, um, the vitamins. The again, this goes back to like more the essential needs, but there's still a ton of profit there with like multi packs, variety packs. Variety packs are really good. We're coming up on Christmas. Remember that is baked goods. People have their people just because of maybe some tight funds. They're still going to go forward with their family traditions, their favorite candies that only come around once a year. So those are things I'm targeting. Again, it's fine. It's getting on some of those listings early, or maybe you're in an area where it is a very hot peppermint candy and it's maybe made only in Missouri. Well, if you're in Missouri, you need to go crazy on that one product because it's only in Missouri, and so many people do buy those types of products countrywide. So they buy country right. They lived in Missouri. They grew up eating this peppermint candy. Then they moved to California. They moved to Florida, and now they still want that peppermint candy, and they're willing to pay a premium for it. So that is another thing you can do is kind of go for the essentials, look for profitable essentials. Um, and another thing will be no matter what, people will splurge on their kids. Toys coming for Q4. And there are a lot of toys that are actually sold only at Walmart. They're sold only at Target. And you can imagine they have a limited supply. And it is really quick and easy to pick some of those products up and then look for a Amazon listing. And people will still buy it off Amazon for an inflated price, especially around Christmas. I'm still, even if things are tight, people will it's not like they're not going to get their kids gifts, so you can look for those high velocity items, um, and certainly find those. So high velocity, lower margins. Just like I said, you can look at your usual life or kind of follow those types of things. Also, limited items. That's what I was just mentioning with the toys. Limited items. I did a video on a limited edition Stanley, which was just absurd. It was like 150% ROI at one point. And it was only in stock for 20 minutes. And you can think about the Taylor Swift tickets where they were just getting ridiculous prices for these. They're limited edition. People are willing to splurge for the experience. And, they're much more, they think, as most people do, they're like, I'd like to take a vacation. Maybe the vacation is 5 grand, or I can spend a grand and go to a Taylor Swift with my boyfriend or my friends, and that is much more economically feasible. Maybe they're paying much less. Maybe they're paying, I don't know, just for the tickets, and they'll drive in one day and drive out, or they'll get a hotel room. So you can think of all those. Like I said, limited edition is a very good way to go because you're dealing with the most basic concept of econ 101, supply and demand. You have a limited supply. If you have the high demand, the price is going to just go parabolic. So those are the ideas that I've been working on, and I think we may see a slower Q4, but you're not going to see a slower Q4 if you buy the right items. If you buy high velocity and you buy these items at a right price. I know that sounds simple, but and it is more challenging than that. But I always say a good clue on a good listing is if you're going through the listing, let's say you're purchasing something off CVS and you're looking at a listing and you're checking like, wait, is this right? Is this right? It says it's a 9-ounce bottle 2-pack. Wait, is this on CVS? If you've checked it 100 times and it looks too good to be true, it may actually be true because there are certainly those items out there. And once you've done your 9, 10 point checklist, read the reviews, it might be the time to push some chips in. So I've been doing also, if you could check out my son, I've been doing shorts every day and doing also a little bit of like joking comedy shorts. So you can check them out. They're pretty funny. Um, like, comment, subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000. We're a few off subscribers and then on the road to many, many more. So that's all I have to say. Keep hustling. Have a awesome rest of your week. Thank you.